everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the book Animal Farm. Animal Farm is an allegorical and satirical novella written by George Orwell on Russian Revolution. His actual name was Eric Arthur Blair and he was an English novelist. He is also famous for his dystopian novel 1984. It is written in a very simple way and is about a farmland where different kind of animals live who rebel against the owner of the farmland. It interprets the hidden meaning of socialism, society of Russia, class struggle, inequality of Russian society at that point of time. All the characters, places, events are used to deliver a broader masses of real world and represent different politicians, leaders, and workers with different ideologies. Before 1917, Tsar Nicholas II ruled Russia. Socialists took over the government in Russia through revolution of 1917. Majority Russian economy was based on agriculture. In the same manner, in this novel, there was a farm called Manor Farm, which was owned by Mr. Jones, who neglects the animals, spends most of his time in taking alcohol, and do not feed animals on time. He is also very unkind master. So, all the animals of that farm rebelled against and took control over that farm and chased Mr. Jones and his men away. Like in Russia after revolution, socialism was established in the same manner in Manor Farm, animalism was established. In the beginning of 20th century, Russian society was changing. We see social, political, economical, ideological changes. People wanted education. They had long working hours, poor wages, and unemployment. Society was divided into upper and middle class. People wanted change. Socialists were against private property. According to them, society as a whole, rather than individual, should control the property. Socialists had a different vision of the future. Some believed in idea of cooperatives to create harmony, like Robert Owen. Snowball in the novel Animal Farm was following his ideology and made many cooperatives for different animals and promoted education. He also wanted to make the life of animals easier with the help of technology, Windmill. Karl Marx was a very prominent philosopher who believed that capitalists exploit the workers for their profit. So he believed that to free themselves from capitalist exploitation, workers will have to come together and overthrow the capitalist and control property and free themselves. Old Major in Animal Farm represents both Marx and Lenin in his ideologies. He is elderly white Boer pig who wanted a change and wanted all animals to come together and rebel against Mr. Jones. The story starts from Old Major, who is an elderly white Boer pig. He had a strange dream the previous night and he wanted to communicate about his dream to all the animals living in the manor farm. So he called a meeting in the night. There were dozens of horses, 20 cows, hundreds of sheep, dogs, pigs, hens, pigeons, goats, donkeys, ducklings, and cats on the farmland. They all gathered in the barn for the meeting in the night when Mr. Jones went to sleep. Old Major was well respected excellent speaker and wise. He said that he wanted to pass the wisdom which he acquired with other animals because he is not going to live more. He tells them that they are living in misery. Their lives are short and laborious. They are given very little food for survival and forced to work hard and finally are slaughtered with cruelty. He blames Mr. Jones and humans for their miserable condition. He also tells that men have become their lord and animals have become the slaves. He points out towards the cruelty of men and how they consume everything which animals produce. He also motivated animals to rebel and made a resolution and unity amongst all animals. Then he tells them about the dream he had last night. According to that dream, all animals lived together happily without the oppressive control of human being. He motivated animals to achieve his dream and to free Manor Farm from humans. He also teaches them long forgotten song, Beasts of England, in which their vision was described in lyrical form. Animals were very enthusiastic, excited, and were in unison. Old Major dies only 3 nights after the meeting. His body was buried in the orchard. For next few months, secret activities were held. They got a new outlook towards their life. 3 younger pigs, Snowball, Napoleon, and Squealer, become the leaders and elaborated old major teachings into a complete system of thought and gave the name Animalism. They organized meetings and explained the principles of animalism to others and prepared them mentally for the rebellion. Their most faithful disciples were the two-part horses, Boxer and Clover. And finally, one day rebellion took place very easily and early than expected by everyone. Mr. Jones was a hard master, but as he lost money in lawsuits, he became disheartened and started drinking more than was good for him. His men were also dishonest and idle and did not care for the animals. On the Midsummer's Eve, Mr. Jones was very drunk. He returned back home next day. Servants also did not feed the animals, and in the evening the cows rebelled and broke the door with their horns. Rest of the hungry animals supported the cows. Mr. Jones and his 4 men started lashing them with their whips. Hungry animals could not bear this, and they attacked Mr. Jones and his 4 men and chased them out of the campus and slammed the gate behind them. Mrs. Jones also fled from the farm. Rebellion was successful. They wiped out all the traces of Jones' hated reign. Napoleon gave everyone double ration of corn. They all enjoyed the meal and sang the song of Beast of England. Next day, they entered in the Jones house and observed everything and passed a resolution that farmhouse should be preserved as a museum. They all agreed that no animal must ever live there. Napoleon revealed in the meeting that he learned how to read and write and he painted Animal Farm instead of Manor Farm on the gate. Pigs also wrote the principles of animalism to 7 commandments and wrote on the wall. The 7 commandments were like this: whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. Whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. No animal shall wear clothes. No animal shall sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink alcohol. No animal shall kill any other animal. All animals are equal. Snowball read it aloud for all animals, and all animals agreed to all points. Initially, Animal Farm prospered. Harvest was big success than they hoped. Pigs were the leaders and they were responsible to find the solution of each and every problem. They did not do any other work. They supervised and directed the work of others. All the animals were happy. Everyone worked according to their capacity. They all worked hard. Boxer was a very hard working horse. He was admired by everyone, and all the difficult work came on his shoulders. His motto was to work harder than others. Everything was smooth in the beginning. They had party and meeting every Sunday to plan for the next week. Snowball was busy making different committees like Egg Production Committee, the Clean Tails League, the White Wool Movement, Re-Education Committee, etc. He was busy teaching the animals how to read and write. These classes were a great success. Almost every animal was literate in some degree, whereas Napoleon confiscated the group of young puppies and gave them training. There were two neighboring farms, Foxboot, which was owned by Mr. Pilkington, and second, Pinchfield, which was owned by Mr. Frederick. They both were afraid of rebellion and never wanted their animals to learn from this incident. The news of Animal Farm spread across the country. Napoleon sent flights of pigeons to tell them the stories of rebellion. Mr. Jones also wanted justice for his sufferings and wanted his farm back. He came to capture his farm, but Snowball was prepared for the attack. He, with the help of animals, chased Mr. Jones away again. This battle was known as Battle of the Cowshed. They received the gun of Mr. Jones as a token of their victory. With the time, things started changing. Initially, everything was decided by the meeting and the majority vote. But later, disputes between Snowball and Napoleon increased. They both struggled for the influence and power. Disagreements on everything increased between Snowball and Napoleon at the meetings. Snowball often won by majority because he was good in giving speech and was passionate towards it. Their disagreement was once again in front of everyone on the topic of building windmill. Snowball wanted to build a windmill on the farm. The whole farm was divided on the subject of the windmill. It was difficult business which needed tremendous amount of work, but once it was made, it would have reduced the efforts in each and everything, and work would have become easier. Napoleon was against the windmill and wanted to focus on increase of farm production. Animal formed themselves into two factions, vote for Snowball and the 3 days week, and vote for Napoleon and the full manger. Napoleon got support from the sheeps. Sheeps always interrupted in the meeting and interrupted the speeches of Snowball by saying 4 legs good and 2 legs bad. Snowball and Napoleon controversies increased, and finally the day of voting came for the electricity generated windmill. Snowball gave the passionate speech he was about to win. Napoleon made a strange noise and used his 9 enormous dogs to chase Snowball away. These dogs were same 9 puppies which he stole away from their mother and reared privately. After this incident, Napoleon captured all powers and declared that in future all questions related to working of farm will be decided by the committee of pigs and he will preside the committee. There will be no more meetings. After this incident, Napoleon decided to build windmill and claimed that it was his idea originally which Snowball stole. All the animals devoted themselves to complete the work of Windmill. They even worked on Sundays. Boxer decided to work harder and took his personal maxim, I will work harder and Napoleon is always right. But one day, after a storm, Windmill was toppled. It happened because they made the wall very thin, but Napoleon blamed Snowball that he conspired against them. He made Snowball a villain in the eyes of other animals and increased his power. Napoleon also started behaving like humans. He cleverly broke all 7 commandments gradually and done the changes according to his convenience. He started sleeping in a bed, drinking whiskey, and engaged himself in trade with neighboring farmers. But Squealer, who was his minister, always justified his actions in front of the animals. The 7 commandments were changed and new commandments were added cleverly. First commandment was changed to whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy, 4 legs good, 2 legs better. Second commandment was removed. Third commandments that no animal shall wear clothes, they started wearing clothes. No animal shall sleep in a bed was changed with 2 more words with sheets. No animal shall drink alcohol, 2 more words added cleverly to excess. Sixth commandment was also changed. No animal shall kill another animal without cows. Seventh commandment was changed. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. All the other animals were overworked, hungry, and afraid. Napoleon decided to sell timber to Mr. Pilkington as Mr. Frederick cheated Napoleon in the purchase of timber. He also attacked on the windmill with dynamite. The animals chased Mr. Frederick and other humans. Many of them died in the battle. This battle was called the Battle of Windmill. Even Boxer was also wounded. After this incident, also, he tried to build the windmill before his retirement, but he collapsed while working for the windmill. He was taken away by the knacker's van. Animals were told that he was sent to the hospital and he died over there. But in reality, he was sold and was slaughtered for the money to buy whiskey for Napoleon. Many years passed and 2 windmills were constructed. The lives of the animals did not change. It remained as difficult as it was in front of Mr. Jones. Windmill only created wealth for pigs. Napoleon advocated that animals should work hard and live simple life. Mr. Jones died. Many other animals also died who were part of rebellion. Pigs started resembling like humans and walked on 2 legs upright as humans walk on 2 legs. They also started wearing clothes and drink alcohol. They made alliance with humans and hold parties. Finally, they changed the name of farm also to the manor farm. Pigs and men started playing cards, fighting and praising each other. For the other animals, it was difficult to differentiate between them. This novel has a deeper meaning, which is relevant today also. It is about how ignorant people blindly follow their leaders. This novel also alert ordinary citizens that how greedy leaders take advantage of the situations and do the things for their own benefit and do not even care for common people. It also tells us that how power changes the people and make them corrupt. It's a must read book. Please do like and subscribe my channel for more such book reviews. Thank you for watching.